Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet yet again for another tutorial. My name is Mary and today we are going to be making this beautiful little stash busting granny triangle. Now if you've been following me the past few months, you would notice that I'm making a stash busting something. I'm keeping that secret until the end. But in the meantime, we are going to be making this today. What we have made with it all is this solid granny square, not in the same theme as the granny stitch, but it's still the same colours. I don't know whether I'll use it yet. I'll think about that now. We also made the crochet granny rectangle. We made the metered crochet granny metered or mitered square, depends on which country you come from. We made previously, before this particular tutorial we're doing today, we made the crochet granny stash busting square. Okay. And then we made, and this is my favourite, we made the crochet granny circle or mandala, whichever country you come from, that's what it's called. Okay, but today we're going to make our crochet granny triangle. Okay, this piece here can also be used for Christmas garland, if you will. So you make about 10 of these in a row and you chain a few stitches and add another triangle, chain a few stitches, add another triangle. I can show you that at the end if you like. And you can have like a colourful garland for Christmas, or even just something colourful to pop in the baby's room if you like that sort of thing. So without further ado, we're going to get started with this tutorial. Crochet granny triangle. All right, in keeping with the theme, we are using Bendigo Woolen Mills thread, or cotton if you will. It is an 8-ply. It does call for a size 4mm hook, but for the purpose of the tutorial and keeping consistent with the rest of the items that I've made for the project, I will be using my 4.5 hook. You will need a pair of scissors, and you will also need that, yes you will, the darning, sewing, weaving, or whatever you want to call it, needle. You will need that. Sorry, I hate to have to admit this, but you'll be darning and weaving and sewing and the rest of it. All right, so there's your triangle. Let's get started. You'll need to know how to do double crochet, chain, slip stitch, and the magic circle or magic ring to begin with. Now with the magic circle or magic ring, well, actually, with all the stitches I have mentioned, I do have tutorials here. They're way back to the very first tutorials I ever did, so just keep scrolling till you get there. Or I could leave the links in the details down below in that little information box down below there. I will leave those links just for the sake of you having them. Otherwise, stick around and I won't make it too difficult for you to do. Okay, this is a magic circle or magic ring or magic whatever you want to call it. You need your tail end in front. Your normal end goes over that tail end, forming a little crisscross there. Okay, let's blow that up so you can see it. Pop your hook under that first loop, pull up this loop, hold it all there. You need to hold everything in place like that, because if you don't hold it in place, it's all going to come undone. Keep holding. I almost lost it then. Chain 3, which is 1, yarn over hook, 2, yarn over hook, 3. All right. If you want to give it a gentle tug, you can. I wouldn't advise it because it can come undone. Now we're going to do a double crochet in that ring. You can still hold it. I'm struggling to hold it myself. So yarn over hook, pop it in your circle, yarn over hook, pull up a loop, hold everything. Yarn over hook, pull through 2, yarn over hook, pull through the last 2. Okay, you're going to do 2 more of these. So you've done the 3 chains, 1 double crochet. Now you're going to do 2 more double crochets. 1. Actually, you might be able to pull that thread a little tighter now if you want. Hold it there for a second and just give it a gentle tug. Not too much, you still need space to put more double crochets in there. All right, excuse me. So we've done the chains, 1 and then 2, and now we're going to do a third one. So what you need there was the chain 3 and then 3 double crochets. Okay, got that? Nice and easy. Now the original pattern says you need to put in 1 chain here, but yours truly, to keep in, sorry about that, to keep in with the theme of what I've been doing, I've been putting 2 two double crochets, 2 chains in each corner. So we are going to put, like I've done with this one here, 2 chains in that corner. It didn't make a difference to the pattern at all. In fact, it looks just as good. Okay. So we're chaining 2, 1, 2. But if you're making the basic granny square, only chain the 1 or the same amount of chains as your granny square calls for in the corner, because this is forming the peak, the corner. Okay. And I've done 1 and 2, I hope. So we'll do 2 double crochets in there. If I haven't, bad luck. That's it. 1, and I have 2, and sorry, another 2 more, 3, and 4. Whoops, that just got messed up a little, sorry about that. And 4, all right, because the thread is quite big. All right, so that's what you have. It doesn't look like a triangle at all, does it? But pull up your little thread there. Give your magic circle, hold it there, a little tug, and it's formed your little triangle. Pretty cool, huh? That is why it's called a magic ring or magic circle, because it looks like magic. It's really not. Science and maths tells us that's going to happen. Okay, so what I want you to do here is just chain a loop, cut your thread, because we are going to change colours. We're going on with our orange. So cut our thread, pull the loop through and leave it there. We'll worry about that end later. Get rid of your light blue, grab your orange or whatever colour colours you used. Okay, we use the orange, so we are going to start with the orange. Now, this particular piece, what you should be doing is chaining up 3 here, turning and working along there. But I'm not going to do that because I want it to be in sync and the same way as my crochet granny. So we're going to go and start in the very first chain or third chain, top of that third chain there, that we first started with, all right? So there's your chain 3, 1, 2, and 3 right there. Okay, don't put it in there because that's actually a double crochet from there. So you really need to get it into that chain right there, all right? So you grab your thread and you pull it through, okay? This is where you should be. Now, oops, trying to grab that little end. Just grab your end, bring it forward, hold it in place, chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, all right? You can now, I wouldn't let go of the thread actually, I'd leave it there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put 3 double crochets between the chains and your next double crochet. So you're going to put 3 of them all in that one little space right there. So it's 1, 2, and 3. All right, we've crocheted over that thread and we are going to weave it in again later as well because I'm a stickler at these things and we will be weaving in again. Now from there you jump straight into the corner and you do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3. Oh, my voice is almost back, people. It's been quite a few weeks that I've been off. 1 and 2 and 3 double crochets. And 1 more there. Okay. So initially what you have was 3 double crochets, and then you jumped into this corner, you did 3, 2, 3. Now you are going to do, in between that last stitch and the last double crochet, you're going to put 3 double crochets in there for now. This is not the end of the row yet. Just put your 3 double crochets in. Okay, 3. Okay, now you're going to put 1 double crochet in the top of that chain stitch right there that we finished off with. And hopefully yours isn't as tight as mine, okay? And this is why I use a larger size hook, and it still doesn't work for me. Oops, don't pull it up yet. We are going to chain 1 and then pull it up. And then we're going to cut it, and I'll show you what you have so far. Okay? All right, that's what you have so far. I know it doesn't look like a triangle yet, but it's almost there. It's getting there. All right. Now, we are going to grab our navy blue because that's the one we used with the other one right there. Okay, orange, navy blue. Now, again, we are going to start at that other side. Okay, this row is going to be a little bit different because now we have a space that we need to go into first. Okay, but before we do, we slip stitch into that third chain nice and tight as usual. Okay, so we'll slip stitch through there. Okay, I hope your stitches aren't as tight as mine, people. You would think after a gazillion years of crocheting I'd get the tension right, but I never do. It's always tight. Okay, so chain 1, 2 and 3. All right, then you put in between that chain and your next double crochet, you put 3 double crochets in there. I'm sorry, the blue may be a little bit difficult to see in this lighting, but I wanted to keep it in theme. Okay, 2 and 1 more makes 3. We are crocheting over that thread, as you've noticed. You don't need to if you don't want to, that's fine. Now that you've crocheted over it, pop it at the back. Oh, if I can get it. It's very fiddly, this part. Once we get past this row, everything's fine. Now jump into that space right there and do just 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. Of course, my thread is snagging again. Okay, now 3, 3, and now we're going to jump into the corner space and we do our 3, 2, 3. 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and then 3 double crochets. Easy so far? Sure is. I find this easier than the granny square. Sounds weird, right? But it's true. I find it easier. It's not that it's easier. I think it's just quicker because it's half the size. All right, 2 and 3. I'm going too fast for you. Sorry. I always forget that I'm on camera and just keep going. Okay, now we've done our 3, 2, 3. We're going to jump into this space right here and do another 3 double crochets. We're not at the end of the row yet. Okay. 2 and 3. Okay. Now, before we get to that chain right there, or that space right there, we need to put 3 double crochets in between the second and the last area, or stitch, so to speak. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then we put a double crochet in the top of that turning chain. Well, it should have been a turning chain, but it's not anymore. But we put a double crochet in the top of that one right there. You do a loop and you cut. Third time round lucky there. Okay, that's that. So that's what you have so far. Now, with your red and blue, I would like you to do exactly the same as you did with this row. Do it with your red and blue, except this time you will have a space to put 3 double crochets in and a second space, not just one, which is there. You'll have 1, 2, and then you'll put 3, 2, 3 there, a set in there, a set in there, and don't forget to put your set in between the last 2 stitches and then do 1 double crochet there. All right, and also don't forget to put your first set in between those 2 stitches. So you chain up 3, put a set of 3 in there, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, and your double crochet on top of that. Okay, continue that with the 2 colors, which is the red and sky blue, and I shall meet you up. Okay, well done. We got to the end of our square, and as square, try triangle, Mary. Okay, and as you can see, I've woven in a lot of my ends, but I left a few important ends to show you how to weave them in. Now, on both sides of your triangle, this is the back, by the way, so it's a little bit bubbly and messy, the back, but the front is quite neat. Okay, so as you can see at the back, each one of my threads were woven in, except this one, so I can show you how to weave in the ones on this side. And on this side, I left this red one, so I can show you how to weave in on this side, because they're two different ways of weaving in, which is really weird. And then I've left the last one, because that's always the hard one. People like to see that. And I've left this very, very middle one, because this is the one where we did the magic ring or the magic circle. People think once you crochet over it, you can just cut it there and walk away. No, that will come undone. You give it a tug and that will come undone. You need to weave in that end. I can't stress that enough. A lot of people say, you showed me the magic circle, but it came undone in the wash, because you didn't weave in the end properly. It's got to be woven in properly. Okay, so let me do firstly the orange end. Okay, let's have a quick thread of that yarn. There we go. That's all done. All right, so we're at the back of our piece, okay, because it's bubbly and it looks a bit messy, right? The front looks nice and neat, so you want to weave in through the back, not the front, obviously, so people don't see it. Now, it's already been crocheted over here. Now we're going to weave it in the other way, opposite way, but we want to weave it in a different area. We don't want to weave it in. If you weave it in the same way you came, you're going to unravel it. So you want to go over or split part of the first yarn and then weave it through. Make sure you can't see your needle on this side, okay? And then you just pull that thread through, okay? If you've unraveled it, if you put it in the same spot and unravel it, just do it again. It's no big deal, okay? But go back through. Whoops, maybe it pays to show you this way. Go back through in another section of that. Oh, this needle's really old now. I'm going to have to get a new one. Struggling to go through. I've lost a point completely. Okay, and we pull it through there. Okay. Also, with cotton, when you are, you pull the thread out of the needle, by the way. When you are using cotton through sewing, sometimes cotton is hard to weave in, okay? And so you just snip your end as close as you want. I don't think I did that close enough, actually. No, I didn't do it close enough. I'll do it closer again. Sorry, lovely people. I'm showing you something. Just be careful, because you can end up cutting your work. So be careful. All that hard work and then you cut it. All right, so that end is gone completely. All right, now here's the important end, the very, very important end. See, if I give it a tug now, it's still closing in place. So that will come undone if I cut it right there. All right, so we are going to weave that in as well. And of course I've split that yarn, haven't I? Dearie me. There's many ways to thread your needle. I do it the wrong way. so don't follow me when threading. Sewing is not my strong point, even though I started off with dressmaking and I know how to design clothes and everything. It's not my strong point. Okay, so remember we are sewing or weaving it in at the back. See how bubbly that is? That's nice and neat, and that's bubbly. And we are going to be weaving in right here. Now, you crocheted over it that way, so it's still sitting there. I need you to go back through that way, weaving in and out of the threads. All right, it may not get all the way around yet, so give it a tug. All right, turn it around and follow in the round until you come out that other end. Of course, making sure you can't see that needle again. So you pull it through. Now, it doesn't end there. You've got to go back that way, all right? People say, you're being a bit of a stickler. Yeah, I'm being a stickler. It's, it's one of those things. It's one of those things you don't want to unravel, especially there. We are actually going to be using a border on this later when we're making our project. Oh, I almost gave away what we're making, but I'm not going to. Okay, and then just weave it back through the other end. And, oh, see how I've done that? I've checked at the back and I've messed that up. So I've got to take that out. You don't want to do that. Whoops. And I've done it again. Okay, I think that's right now. Yep. All right. Pull it out. Give it a cut close to the end there. Right. Ta-da! Give it a tug. Get rid of that little mess that I made right there. There it is. And it's gone. All right. So that's that. Now, the other important one is that blue one right there. Okay. Let's just finish off this red one. Remember, this is different than the other side. We wove in that side, right? Now we're going to weave in this side. It's different than the other way. Okay. And I actually prefer this way because we've crocheted over it this way, so we can actually weave into that particular area right there. Checking the front, of course. Always check that front, because before I nearly messed up, and I'm professional at this, and I still nearly messed up. Okay, so be very careful. Check your work, people. Now when you go back in another angle. All right. So you're not going to unravel. See how that just stayed there in place? It didn't pull through and ended up unraveling. Okay, so that's done. Now, this is the very, very important one as well. Nobody ever knows what to do with this last thread. Be it a granny square or be it the triangle or whatever it is you're making, a lot of people don't know what to do with it. Now, I've left a full thread, and I'm going to tell you why. This is nothing to do with our project here. Just a little something I want to show you at the end of the project. But for now, I'm going to show you how to weave in this end. It is tricky. Okay, it is very tricky. What you're going to do, the way your thread is, turn it this way for now. The way your thread is pulling is this way, or in this case, it's going down. So that's the way you're going to go. All right, turn it the wrong way. You are going to weave your thread down there and in and out of that. Okay, so pick a spot where you can, again, check your work before doing this, because I've just split that yarn there. Okay, so check your work first, then split the yarn and gently pull your thread through. Now ordinarily you would weave all the way down into that stem right there and through there. But I just wanted to show you something before we do that. Remember before I said probably earlier on in the tutorial, I said we could use this as a garland. Okay, a garland. All right, so a Christmas garland, if you will, or any kind of garland. Just pop your thread in your hook anywhere you want. Pull up a chain. Chain 1. I'm doing it lightly. 2, 3. I don't know, say 4. Then you make sure they're facing the same way, and it's not that way. That's the wrong way, and that's the right way. You just grab your other triangle, you slip stitch it in place like that, you make a loop, you pull that loop through, and whoops, there's your garland. Okay, so you do your other one that way, another one the other way, and you pop them up. That's your Christmas garland floating. Okay, that is if you wanted to do a garland, but we're not doing a garland, we are doing our project. But I just thought I'd show you a quick garland. I might do a tutorial on that garland in the future, to be honest with you. I saw some stars that I like, and Christmas is coming up, so I may do a tutorial on that star and triangle garland. Okay, but in the meantime, we're still sewing in this end. Remember, we had it sitting there, we've pulled it through. You can hardly see already that it was being knotted there. Okay, so now you are going to, oops, we've split some of this thread right here and get right down into here, and then we'll weave it in and out of there. So I don't care how you do it the way you want. Make sure before you start splitting yarn, because it's an absolute no-no in crochet, you don't split yarn. I know, I'm saying that as I do it. If you have, that didn't work too well, but if you have not done this correctly and you've split all this yarn, you're not going to be able to take it undone. And I've said that in many of my tutorials, and I'll keep saying it. You know, it will come undone. It won't come undone. Okay. So if you don't want to split yarn, just weave it in and out up the top. I don't know if it'll stay in place through wash. This is the only way it will stay in place through wash. So I'll split, I'll put it in there. Okay, just give it a tug. So now we're actually in there. So what we're going to do is go right down into that and start weaving in to that batch of crochet stitches. Don't pull it too tight because that'll pull that and you don't want it to pull. But now you're on this side, you're going to weave in and out of your little stitches there like you would any other way. Just do it once and do it one more and you're done. Okay. Little bit fiddly at first, but once you get this weaving in stuff, this is one of the things I detest so much about crocheting, the weaving in. It's like an artist who hates cleaning up after his painting. He prefers to just do the painting and walk away, but no, we all have to do what we have to do. So there we are. That's what we have so far. Now what I meant before is you probably would start from there. So chain 5, slip stitch it to that one, chain 5, slip stitch it to the next one, and you can have your little garland. But in the meantime, we are using our, oh, I've lost the granny square. Oh, here it is. Sorry. We're using ours for our project. Okay. So you will need to have, if you want to do the project that we're doing, you will need to have 2 of the granny squares and 2 of these triangles. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, do what you have to do. And what can I say? Happy crocheting to you. Ciao for now.